to Sky Fox.
Yeah, Stu Mundell, a pursuit in the Glendora area at last report. Where are we? What are we seeing? What do we know? Good morning.
Well, we got a lot there, and I hate cutting off Dr. Mike. I got to throw that out there. Love that guy. Looks like we're just getting here right in time. Starting to get a little dicey. He ran out of road. Now we're driving on some park areas out here. Glendora, that's the city that we're in. This is what vehicle was going 100 plus on the freeway earlier on. A man and a woman inside. We haven't got that confirmed, but we believe that's pretty accurate information. A male and a female inside that vehicle. Murder, one of the two is a murder suspect, and that's what initiated the pursuit. Started on the freeway. Sky Fox was pretty much out of the area, but now we're here, and that vehicle, well, may have just stopped underneath the trees right there. Or, nope, Justin, pan up, just pan up the street, keep going, find it. There it is. And, anyways, basically got off the freeway, off the 210 freeway. We've been in the Glendora area. We've been watching this vehicle. Actually drove by the police station earlier on. Don't know if this driver actually knew that. Also, we're not sure if the female is the driver or the male. We do understand male and female inside that vehicle. Road work right there, making another hard turn. We don't have that map up here in Sky Fox, so we'll get you the streets as soon as we can. But as you can see, roads pretty empty. That's good news for the folks on, any of the civilians out there, people on the roadway. But the speeds also have slowed down. That's a huge plus as well. Now, the law enforcement, who's behind it? Well, we understand that it's going to be California Highway Patrol, but then we also hear Sheriff's Department might be involved in this as well. We're going to keep an eye on it. Basically, I know that street. That's going to be Foothill Boulevard, making a turn on Foothill Boulevard right now. Might see a little bit more traffic. And again, though, this driver pretty desperate to get away as we headed for homicide or questioning in a homicide. Right now, though, continues to move at pretty good speeds, and you can see empty streets, huge plus for the people on the ground and law enforcement.
All right, so Stu, we understand this vehicle is going at about 55 miles an hour. This is, a business district, also into some possibly residential neighborhoods. And, obviously, if there is a murder suspect involved, in this pursuit and is in that car, that obviously provides the motivation for that person to run from police.
Well, definitely, and it also ups the bar for the law enforcement. I just got to point out that's what's going on down there. You saw that sheriff's vehicle basically blocking the traffic, making sure that nobody else is getting involved or not getting involved, or nobody's while they're running red lights right there. They're trying to keep, even though it is light traffic, they're trying to keep the public safe the best they can. Also, for law enforcement, a murder suspect, this person probably pretty desperate to get away, and even if this person is questioned in a murder, law enforcement, the guys on the ground and the gals on the ground, they have to take this extremely seriously. So when this comes to a stop, they're going to have to really kind of treat this with like a little extra kid glove action. Look at that right there. And these are the issues that law enforcement has to deal with. That person driving, going to Jack in the Box, getting his breakfast sandwich, has no idea that this is going on. That vehicle clearly running a red light right there. And this is what, this is the plus to the side of the lights and sirens. At least folks in the area will get an idea that something is going on. That vehicle moving pretty quickly down there. Might not really seem like it from our angle right now, but I'm sure it's probably moving about 60 miles an hour. These are residential streets. That is the historic Route 66. We're making our way into the Azusa area. Love the Azusa area. Got to give them huge props. But what I'm worried about out here is might get a little bit more packed. People are waking up. They're getting on the road this morning, and this is a throughway, at least Azusa Avenue is, where it crosses Route 66. This is an area where people are going to be making their way onto the freeway. Worried about that, but take a look. Here we go. We're getting some more traffic, and we watched that vehicle make desperate moves, drive through that park a few moments ago. Again, just squeaked by right there, but a lot of traffic, and you see folks pulling over. That's what law enforcement wants them to do.
Well, yeah, that's always a good thing, because we often talk about the fact that sometimes people get caught up in this. They don't know what's going on, and they're distracted, and that's where danger can... Go ahead, Stu.
No, that wasn't for you, Roxy. I'm sorry. It looks like they're setting up for a pit.
Yeah.
Sheriff's Department, for a while there, their policy was no pit, but then they changed it up. I don't know where they're sitting right now. Look at that. They don't even have to. It's kind of just coming to a stop here, eastbound on Foothill that just passed Azusa Boulevard. Now, this is one of those situations where the car did stop Don't know if that's going to be the actual vehicle, but look, right away, compliance. This is a good sign for law enforcement, good sign for us up here in the helicopter as well. It looks like the vehicle basically ran out of fuel. We're just past Azusa Boulevard. We're just going to be west of Azusa on Foothill Boulevard. You can see the deputies down there. These guys were ready for this. They have those guys are, they have the heavy armament. They have the and also the protection. There you go, female driver getting out first. Hands up, following the directions. Again, though, we're not clear if the driver is the wanted for questioning in the homicide or the passenger. Right now, though, it really doesn't make a difference. It looks like this pursuit coming to an end in the Azusa area. Sheriff's Department, they're handling it. Looks like the driver complying. And also I see hands on the passenger side out as well. So hopefully both of them will comply and go into custody without incident.
Well, this is the best case scenario right now. We've seen so many of these things become so dangerous and sometimes take a deadly turn. So the woman is being taken into custody. That we're seeing.
The passenger's still in the car at this point.
Still in the car. I know we saw the hands up a moment ago, but I don't see that right now, Stu.
They're still right there. They're little. You just kind of look at that rooftop. You can see those hands still kind of pointing out up in the air right there, Roxy. We might be able to move Skyfox around just a little bit. We're kind of packed in here, but we'll try to get around to the other side. But again, you can see the tenseness, and this is the only thing we can work with up here in the helicopter. We're always looking at their stance. In this case, the deputy's stances, and you believe that is probably the homicide suspect. That's the person that they want to talk to. Deputies still very steady and alert, but they're waiting for this passenger to get out of that vehicle. Unsure if they're going to make him get out that side or even come across. We've seen that in the past as well.
Well, presumably they're going to ask the passengers to pretty much follow the same procedure. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And it seems as though the passenger is complying with the commands of law enforcement there, Stu.
That's right, but until those cuffs are on, it's always still, it's not over till it's over, and that's what in law enforcement, that's what they're looking at right now. They want to make sure that suspect is cuffed, patted down, and then made sure that there are no weapons. But it does definitely look like this suspect complying this morning after a long pursuit, super high speeds on the freeways, and a little bit of off-roading, as it would be out here, as this suspect was driving through a park when they ran out of roadway up here in the Glendora area. Right now, though, coming to an end in the Azusa area, just west of Azusa Boulevard on Foothill. So you can see right there, and one suspect in custody, and thank goodness nobody was hurt in this chase.
Yeah, as far as we know, 2 pursuits in 2 days, and at least with this one, as opposed to the one yesterday, there didn't seem to be any accidents. Yesterday, there was an accident involved in that pursuit, but this one seems to be coming, Stu, to a peaceful end.
Peaceful end indeed, and you can see the deputies are going to have to clear that vehicle, but everybody's still at their ready. They just want to make sure they've got all their ducks in a row. But take a look at the number of officers or deputies that are here. Justin gets a wider shot. These were very dangerous suspects in this vehicle. They, homicide, it doesn't get much worse than that, and they definitely wanted to get that gentleman into custody, and they clearly have. Right now, though, they still have to clear that vehicle, but again, though, most likely nothing in the trunk but dirty laundry. And right now, we can say nobody was hurt in this chase, and that's a huge plus.
Wow. All right, Stu, thank you for being on top of this and bringing us the very latest as we watch this come to an end. Appreciate that.